off your credit cards. It's called a debt management program from the great team at Trinity. Trinity had a plan. In the end, I paid off my bills, I saved thousands, and I even improved my credit score.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-936-5496.
My name is Heather. Please forget Trinity Debt Management.
1-800-936-5496.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quincy, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
With NWKS Radio News, I'm Connor Schuh. This past Friday, there was a car accident in Logan County. It occurred in the early morning around 12:52 a.m. on U.S. Highway 40, a couple miles west of Monument, according to the Kansas Highway Patrol crash log. Troopers reported that a westbound 2010 Chevy Impala crossed the center line and struck a 2024 Kenworth semi-truck head-on, with the impact pushing the Impala 75 feet before it came to a rest in a ditch. The driver, 23-year-old Jalen Z. Cruz of Manhattan, that's the driver of the Impala, was transferred to Colby Medical Center with suspected serious injuries. And the semi-driver, 34-year-old Moanatoa Van Pine from Thornton, Colorado, he came away uninjured. Both drivers were reported to have been wearing their seatbelts in the accident. For these and other stories, go to nwksradio.net.
Morning bands of snow out in Kit Carson and Cheyenne counties in Colorado, Greeley and Wichita counties in Kansas. 1 to 2 inch accumulations are possible there. Elsewhere, we'll just see flurries and cloudy morning skies. It'll be clearing in the afternoon with highs in the upper 30s to low 40s. Tonight will be clear and cold with lows around 15. West winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow will be warmer with highs rebounding in the mid-50s due to southwesterly 20 to 30 mile an hour downsloping winds. In the evening, a cold front will go through, sharply turning the winds to the north, gusting 35 to 45 miles per hour. Overnight, lows will be in the upper teens, and Wednesday and Thursday, despite the front, temperatures will remain relatively mild with a high around 50 on Wednesday, 40 on Thursday. Overnight lows head into the single digits and lower teens. Arctic last Friday and Saturday with highs in the teens and 20s, lows in the single digits. That's meteorologist Chris Schromick in the NWKS Radio Weather Center.
Need a porta potty or septic pumping in Northwest Kansas? Call Topside Portables and Pumping, your local family-owned crew. They've got clean, reliable toilets for weddings, farms, and job sites, plus full septic services, RV waste, fertilizer tanks, and more. Available 24/7, because when nature calls, they answer. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside Portables and Pumping. Reliable, local, clean.
At Ray Community District Hospital and Clinic, they believe in promoting healthier living through compassionate quality care. From state-of-the-art maternity care to life-saving emergency services, their dedicated team is there for you and your family. Whether it's managing diabetes, navigating recovery, or receiving specialized treatments, they're committed to your well-being. Discover the difference a community-focused hospital can make. Visit rayhospital.org today to learn more. Ray Community District Hospital and Clinic. Your health, our priority.
Not too often do you buy something when you have air, and then it works just as good when you don't have any left. Well, that is what happens when you purchase a trusted American-made Valley Pivot from Western Sprinklers. Ever since the first Valley Pivot was made back in 1947, they have been the leader in precision irrigation, spanning across the globe. And they continue to get better over the years, now with Valley 365 and AgSense, putting the power of irrigation at your fingertips. Contact Western Sprinklers in Colby today about getting yourself a Valley Pivot that will stand the test of time.
Are pests making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pest Away in Goodland, Kansas, serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pest Away today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
Convenience just got an upgrade. Farmers State Bank of Oakley is excited to announce the opening of our brand new ATM along Highway 40, right next to Sonic Drive-In. Whether you're grabbing a snack or on the go, you can quickly access your cash without the detour. It's banking made easy, right where you need it. Farmers State Bank of Oakley, member FDIC.
At Eklund Insurance, they understand your unique needs. Whether you're a farmer protecting your farm and ranch, or you need commercial or personal insurance for your home, health, or auto, the team at Eklund Insurance has you covered. Their consultative approach ensures you get the best advice tailored to your situation. They shop around for the best insurance products, so you don't have to. Eklund Insurance, your trusted partner in comprehensive coverage. Stop by today to talk to one of their agents at 1628 Caldwell Avenue in Goodland.
You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4! It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
The amount of money getting thrown around to quarterbacks who haven't done diddly squat is amazing to me.
And Connor Schuh.
He's the new guy.
The High Plains only local sports talk show. Broadcasting live on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody!
Covering it all from the preps.
He's at the 10, the 5, he dives for the end zone. He's in! Touchdown, Cowboys!
To the pros.
Line drive, left field, base hit. Here comes McMahon. He'll score. Ball game.
The Blitz is presented by Pearl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank. Along with
Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell, the Insurance Agency, Pestaway LLC, Topside Portables and Pumping, and the Farmers State Bank in Oakley.
Let's go to work.
Corey and Melvin combine the steal. Council on the run, a lob, and a slam. A two-handed throwdown, and the foul.
Here's Price on the other end, hoists a three. Got it! And the one out.
On the drive, CJ had it knocked away. May have been fouled, no call. Three-pointer, PJ, good! PJ Haggerty, a bomb.
Cowboys got lucky. Rosas missed two easy bunnies there. 3-ball to make it a 1-point game. Good for Braylon Mole on the right side. Mole now to Williams. He'll try a three from the late left. It's off, no good, off the backboard. Rebound, Miller puts it in before the shot clock sounds. We are tied at 53. Good Monday morning, everybody. It is January the 19th, and glad you're listening to the Morning Blitz. I'm Ross Volkmer. Connor Schuh with us along as well on a chilly start, but not terrible. 20 degrees. The wind is light. Going to be a day that gets up to around 40. There might be even, I don't know. I've heard further to the south and particularly to the west, you're going to see some more of the white stuff flowing around. I heard this morning that Weskin, Kansas has, I think, 2.5 inches of snow. But here in Goodland, dry.
Same here in Colby.
I don't think it's going to make it that far east, honestly. I think it's not going to make it that far east at this point in time. You have to go further to the south and to the east to possibly get some more. But it continues to be dry and a cold day on tap here for this Monday with highs in the upper 30s. And then we will have a warm-up on Tuesday and Wednesday that get temperatures into the 50s. And then Thursday through Saturday, maybe a chance of the white stuff again. And on top of that, some very cold temperatures. Temperatures going to be in the low 20s Friday and Saturday. So it wouldn't shock me. The Orange and Black Classic is coming up this weekend, and it would not surprise if we see some snow because there's been some interesting travel that's happened during the Orange and Black Classic from time to time. So it'll be interesting to see how this all shakes out here on this week. But Connor, how was the weekend?
It was good. Got to do a little PA for Colby hoops, Colby College hoops. Unfortunately, those games
tough.
Didn't go even close in their direction. But it was a good weekend nonetheless.
Good to hear that. I had some family in town, and which was nice. I did have to make a Saturday trip to Hugoton as the Goodland basketball games were postponed pretty much 24 hours, a little bit less than that. So had to make a trip down to Hugoton on Saturday, which is what everybody wants to do. But it's all right. Made it work, and at least on the bright side, there were a couple of nice Goodland wins on the road down at Hugoton. Very upset-minded weekend in the GWAC. We'll get to that coming up here in just a matter of moments. So, As always, FB Bank text line is open at 785-899-2222. If you'd like to be part of the Morning Blitz, we'd love to hear from you. Get your thoughts, your comments, your questions in for today's program. Heck, even throw in your weekend winners and losers.
There are two kinds of people in this world.
There's winners and there's losers.
Which ones were which this past weekend?
I want winners.
Loser! You're a loser!
It's the weekend's winners and losers on the Morning Blitz.
Gonna be a winner, be a winner.
Weekend winners on this Monday, January the 19th. Where do we start off here?
I've got one that's kind of off the beaten path, but this I just had to mention this guy, Diggy Coit, former KU guard, plays at Maryland right now. Small 5'11" guard, but he can score it, and he did that on Saturday or Sunday. He dropped 43 points in a rout of Penn State, and he fell 1 point short of the scoring record for Maryland, which was 44 from Ernie Graham back in 78. But down the stretch, his teammates, like on the bench, were trying to get him to just chuck up shots because they were up by 20 and try to get the record. But he just kept passing it off to his teammates, wanted them to get theirs. And after the game, he said this. He said, when you're making all the shots, I don't want to make everything about me. I feel like we got to win. That's the most important thing. So there you go. That's a team guy right there. And on top of that, that's the second time this year he's dropped 40 points. So this guy can fill it up.
There's no doubt that Diggy Coit is a dude. Even when he was at Kansas, even though he wasn't a star player, he could definitely fill it up. There's no doubt you could see that. He is a scorer of the basketball. And to see him having this kind of success over at Maryland is good to see. Although I hope he doesn't score that against my Cornhuskers here in the coming games. But nonetheless, he can really fill it up. There's no doubt about it. It is great to hear guys talk about that, though, on the team side of things. You don't hear that very much, I think, in today's, particularly in the game of basketball. You don't hear that very much anymore.
Especially the new college basketball. I mean,
did not see. Yeah, I totally see that for sure. So, man, who would have thought Diggy Coit would lead things off on a Monday morning? But
I had to. He's top of mind right now.
That's fine. That's fine. It's just, I love randomness, and that is definitely random. All right. I'm going to play the homer card here. Goodland basketball, my first winner of the weekend. Two really nice wins down on the road at Hugoton. Starting first and foremost with the more, I don't want to say surprising one, but I guess if you had to say it, it'd be surprising win out of the two was the Cowboys going down to Hugoton and knocking off an 8th-ranked and 4A Hugoton squad on their home floor. It's a difficult place to play. It's a rowdy crowd. And, you know, even though both teams have, different head coaches than they did last year. Both teams have semi-different rosters than what they had last year. Goodland came in losers of 3 in a row. This was the 5th consecutive ranked opponent that they have faced going all the way back before Christmas break. And the Cowboys found a way. They were down by 10 twice in this basketball game. Once in the first quarter, once in the second quarter. Used a great third quarter to come out and regain and come back and not only tie the game up but regain the lead, but then found themselves down in the fourth quarter and then closed at the very end to take the lead and then held on for dear life in the final minute or so. For those who weren't listening, and for those who couldn't listen, I apologize. I know we tried to let people know as much as we could, but we were down. Some people were like, did you not go to the Hugoton game? No, I was there. I was on a different radio station because the Broncos were here on Rocket 102.
Where did they put you?
I was on Flyover Country 97.9.
Okay.
So I was over there on Flyover Country 97.9. Thank goodness KU didn't play. I don't know what was going to happen then. But nonetheless, in the fight, so Goodland has the ball. They're up by 3. They do an inbounds play. It's a turnover. Hugoton grabs the ball, chucks it at the bucket for a 3-pointer, and is fouled. A guy who shoots over 90% from the foul line goes up there and buries the first 2. Bang, bang. Smart decision by a young head coach and his staff, Dawson Raymer, saying, we'll take a timeout here and try and ice him. They had 1 left. They used the timeout. It works. They ice him. But Goodland doesn't rebound the ball. Hugoton gets gets 1 chance to tip it in, misses it, got the ball back again, put up and in, but the buzzer sounded and the red light went on. It was the right call. Great job by the officials, by the way. They don't have the ability of instant replay, but they saw it perfectly and they waved it off and ran to the locker room.
Yeah, get out of there ASAP.
It's no good. We're out of here. And they did their job. I saw some video evidence later that it was the correct call as well. So, yes, a great showing from the Cowboys to get back on their feet in this 3-game losing streak against a ranked foe down at Hugoton, a tough place to play. A huge road win for them. And then the Cowgirls with just a solid bounce-back game after what was a terrible game against Colby where they just couldn't make a shot. 4 made field goals in that loss to Colby at home on Tuesday. On Saturday, they go down there and they force a Hugoton team into like 29 turnovers. Really forced it. And then Hugoton is a team that usually turns teams over, but Goodland did it to them. And the Cowgirls really got going inside. They dominated the glass. They were plus, I think, 12 in rebounding margin. Really did a great job there. And so tip of the cap to Goodland basketball. You know, it was a random deal. You know, you were scheduled to play Friday. You were ready to go Friday. And instead you got to play Saturday. You got to get on the bus on Saturday. You got to drive all the way down there on Saturday. It was, a lot of things could have played factors, but it didn't. They were mentally tough and ended up winning both those basketball games. And a tip of the cap to Goodland basketball, my winner of the weekend at this point in time. So,
okay. And for my second, this is almost a tentative winner because, well, Michael just kind of spelled it out there on the F&B Bank text line that Bo Nix hurt, but the Broncos, they got themselves a playoff win, and they're going to the AFC Championship for the first time in over 10 years. Well, I guess it would be about 10 years to the date because it was the 2015 season, but happened in 2016. Regardless, that's huge. It feels like Bronco football is officially back now that you actually see them in a prime playoff position here, and they've got Jared Stidham leading them, which is it's really interesting. He started a few games, and I remember a couple years ago he made a start for the Raiders late in the season, and he threw for like almost 400 yards. So there's something in there with old Jared Stidham, and that defense is still, that defense is legit, obviously, and they were able to get it done against the Bills despite what felt like a game where, at least when I was watching, I thought the Bills were going to pull that one out once it came down to overtime. But man, that Broncos defense, so huge. That huge pick towards the end of Josh Allen kind of felt like it sealed their fate. And yeah, you got to be at least a little happy for them, even if you're not a Broncos fan. They're finally back into it, kind of turning the tides officially in that division, the AFC West, where they're kind of the top dog, at least for now. The Chiefs out of the picture, the Chargers out of the picture, but the Broncos, and now it's all up to, can they beat the Patriots? We'll see.
Did Bo Nix outduel Josh Allen? That was said in the FB Bank text line by listener Michael.
It almost
did he outduel him? I don't know if he outdueled him. He beat him, but I don't know if he outdueled him.
He won the game, so I think it's fair to say he outdueled him.
Yeah. He won the game. Just a crazy finish to that game for Denver. Bo Nix got hurt on a play. He was trying to get the ball in the right spot to kick the field goal to win it. Took the snap, rolled to the right, tried to get down to a knee, and in the process of getting rolled down to the knee, gets tackled and hurts his ankle, and he's done.
Awful luck.
Just terrible luck. Terrible luck. We'll see. We'll see what Jared Stidham can do. He has put up some really good numbers in the preseason. I think there was a preseason game this year. He had 2 incompletions. It was like 24 or 26.
Not bad. Now do it in the playoffs.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, now you've sat all season long. All season you have sat, knowing you're not going to get in because Bo Nix is the future. You've sat the whole season long, and on top of that, you have. On top of that, you have, you haven't really gotten any reps because in the NFL and really in football in general, depending on how you run practices, backups don't get a lot of reps. Especially
not with the first team, at least.
All the backup quarterback gets is just mental reps. So now you've got to go face this Patriots defense, which is freshly coming off of a 4 interception game of CJ Stroud.
That hurt.
and you got to go take care of them. Now you get to be at home, which is fine, and that's helpful. But I don't know. It's I'll be very interested to see what Jared Stidham does. And boy, can you imagine? I'm trying to think. Can anybody off the text line or anybody come up with the thought of, when was the last time you had a quarterback come in this situation and lead them to a Super Bowl?
I have some thoughts. There was a quarterback back in the 90s. Jeff Hostetler came in for the Giants, I think, for Phil Simms, and he won the Super Bowl for them. I don't know if he came in the NFC Championship or if he came in the Super Bowl, but I know he was the backup, and he came in and he won the big one for him.
No, I said, but when was Simms injured?
That's the question. I don't know.
I could see it like a guy got hurt in the Super Bowl and he came in and finished it out. I could see that. I'm just kind of curious if anybody has any thoughts on that. I would love to know. Somebody says Osweiler replacing Manning in 2015. Yeah, but Manning came back. There we go. Thank you. Nick Foles. Nick Foles.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how I forgot about that.
Nicky
That's
Foles.
the one.
Yeah, that would be it. Nick Foles would be it. What would trying to think, who was the starter before Nick Foles?
Carson Wentz.
There we go.
I mean, he was an MVP finalist that year, so
he was.
he
was really good, but Wentz was, and then injuries just took his career.
Yeah, I feel for him.
Shed. But yeah, it would be Nick Foles. Nick Foles. Yeah, look, Denver. Here's the thing: Denver's got a good enough defense to be in any game. And in my opinion, if you want to know why Denver has a great chance of competing in the Super Bowl, it's because of their defense. That's the biggest reason why their defense is elite. It's an elite defense. The thing is, you're going to see two elite defenses face off next Sunday afternoon. I mean, the Patriots and the Broncos. It's going to be which offense can get a couple of breaks, who can make a couple of plays, and it's going to be interesting to see. Very interesting to see. And I'm guessing it's going to be cold, and I think it's going to be snowy. By the way, great playoff weather. Thank you so much, weather. I know it stinks here because we don't have any snow, but at the same time, around the country there's some snow, and it's quite nice to see that playoff football weather for sure. And by the way, what a great game, Bills and Broncos. That was a great game. If you're just a fan of football, that was a lot of fun to watch. I didn't get to watch it a lot in live, but I've seen highlights, and I did see bits and pieces of it. As was happening, but there were some great moments. Love the hook and ladder play for the Bills. Loved the hook and ladder play. But credit to the Broncos. They get it done. They are moving on to the AFC Championship game, and they got the Patriots coming up here on Sunday afternoon. So look forward to seeing how that all shakes out. One more winner for me on weekend winners. I'm going to give a shout out to this is going to be a rando one. Colby Community College track and field coach Sandra Glover. I'm going to give a shout out to her and her program. They recently began their indoor season here this past weekend at the Washburn Rust Buster. Great name, by the way. And they had 3 guys go out there and have NJCAA national qualifying times or throws. And with those times or throws, either came close to or set a record in the program. Giovanni Bridgewater won the 400 meters with 47.82. It's his personal best. It was the second all time. It was the second best time. It's the second all time in Colby school history, which was impressive. Let's see. Keenan Delestre, who's one of the long distance runners, he was impressive. Finished 3rd in the mile with a time of 4:15.
4:15? Jeez.
And he finished 3rd, by the way.
He won next year.
Yeah. Let's see here. He went from 9th to 7th best in the school record books. And how about freshman Tristan King, who finished 11th in the weight throw with a throw of 15:03, but it was in his first collegiate mark that set the new school record.
First. Jeez.
So
imagine what that's going to be like at the end of the season.
I know. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is the first meet of the year. It is the first, for some of these kids, it's their first meet ever. And yet they're out there breaking school records and qualifying for nationals already in the first meet. So shout out to Coach Sandra Glover getting her kids ready to go. I just saw that. I was just like, this is ridiculous. You're usually trying to peak at the end of the season, but instead you're peaking at the beginning. Yeah. So I guess we'll see what happens. But it's been impressive to see those numbers come in yet on Saturday for the Rust Buster there for Colby track and field. There you go. Any other winners for you?
I'd give a small shout out to the Patriots. I didn't really want to, but I think it's fair to say they're winners. Mike Vrabel done a great job in year 1, 14 wins, and going to the AFC Championship and playing the Broncos. It was sad to see CJ Stroud throw 4 interceptions and just look like he forgot how to play the position. But man, that Pats defense is pretty good, and so is Drake May.
Yeah, they look really good. That AFC Championship game is going to be a real doozy. I think both are, honestly, even the NFC. But that's what you want. You want it to be that way. You're getting to the point where you need to have these great games, and I think
There've been a lot of them. I mean,
there have been some good ones. But
the Niners Seahawks game was a dud, but other than that, it's mostly been decent.
Yeah, you're right. All right, moving on. Weekend losers. I'll tell you, I'll lead off here in losers. I've got to go. I'm sorry, but K-State basketball, I got to throw under the bus again. Sorry.
That was my first one, too.
K-State basketball loser of the weekend. And it's not because they lost on the road at Oklahoma State. It's how they lost at Oklahoma State. I was listening to this game on my drive home from Hugoton, listening to this game. K-State has the basketball. PJ Haggerty gets a runner to give them an 83-81 lead with like 15 seconds left. Oklahoma State goes down the floor. Pretty much gets down to about 3 seconds. They hoist up a 3 and get fouled. Hoist a 3, get fouled. And he goes to the foul line. Guy makes all 3 free throws with 2 seconds left. And then K-State somehow, some way with 3 seconds left, gets the ball up to midcourt, calls timeout. PJ Haggerty pretty much receives the inbounds pass and chucks it from almost half court. He had more time to get closer. What the heck was he doing?
He's got the under.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe that might be true. But the way that the K-State is the worst team in the Big 12 standard record-wise, they're now 0-5, 0-6 to begin Big 12 conference play. But man alive, it's not good. There's videos of Coach Tang just getting after his guys in the huddle. Whether I don't know if that's good or bad, I don't know, but it's not good for Kansas State. It is not good at all. Like I said, losing on the road, one thing. Losing the way they did, they had that game won, not acceptable. Not acceptable.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. I caught some of the game, and it was earlier on, and I figured out I could get a 20-minute free watch of CBS Sports Network. So I watched a little bit of that, and K-State looked fine, at least from what I saw. Abdi Bashir looked like the shooter he's supposed to be at first. I mean, granted, he's still shooting the ball really well this year. I think he's at like 45% from deep, but I mean, the defense couldn't do enough. And then, like you said, in the clutch situation, it didn't come up for them. And I don't know what happened. I mean, I wonder if Coach Tang had a play drawn up and PJ just said, no, I'm just going to let this fly, or what the deal was, or if the play was just to give it to PJ and let him go figure it out himself or what. But regardless, something needs to change there. I mean, heck, they're not going to make the NIT at this point.
No. It's looking like it's another year of a lot of money spent on a roster that doesn't produce.
No.
And they have struggled so hard to just put things together, and it's looking, and the more and longer that this kind of losing goes on, the more and more you're going to see this team just kind of be like, we'll take our money and we'll run. Thank you.
It's getting to that point.
We'll go to our next school.
I mean, not if you're PJ. This is year 4. I mean, you're done unless you try that hardship waiver, because he hasn't had a red shirt.
No. Why would we not expect to see him someplace else? I mean, everyone else gets a 5th year, even though they may, or a 7th year, even though they may not deserve it. So
I don't know. He'll go to like Tarleton State or something. I don't know.
There we go. Anyway, all right. Weekend losers. What else you got for losers?
This was really interesting. So the Warriors, the losers here, even though they beat the Hornets by 20 the other night. And the reason why, so the Hornets were playing a box and one to stop Curry. And after the game, the way the Warriors handled this in the post-game presser is why they're losers. I think it was Steph Curry who said this. It was him or Draymond. One of them said that wasn't basketball, the way the Hornets were defending them, because they were trying to take away Curry. Yeah, and it worked because Curry only scored 12 points. So they did the job in terms of that, but Draymond hit 4 threes, and I think 7 players had double-figure points, so it didn't really work. But they were all complaining about it in the post-game presser and just acting like you're not allowed to do that, and that's just a Bush League way to play the game, to take away your best player. And they're all like, oh, I just can't believe this. This is disgusting. And I don't know. I feel like, to me, that's loser behavior. Just going on and on and on about that in the post-game presser. I saw quotes from like 3 different players about how much they despised that and how it was anti-basketball. So, yeah, just wanted to get that off my chest. I thought that was stupid.
That would be dumb. Boxing 1 is basketball.
Yeah. I mean, it's Steph Curry. He can still...
Aren't there other pros on the floor for the Warriors to score?
Yeah, and they did. Again, I mean, they won by 20. So,
well, shoot.
I mean...
What does it matter?
Exactly.
Hey, grow up.
Yeah.
That's it is basketball. That's part of the deal. I've got a couple more losers, but I'm only going to get to one here because we're up against the clock. And Nick, we can talk more about my other loser. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but I feel bad for this loser with Nick Athen coming up. But did you see the video from Friday night high school basketball here in the state of Kansas of the official?
Oh, yeah, I did. I forgot about this.
The flopping official. The flopping official.
I see.
For those who haven't seen it, we have a clip for it on the screen
one
here.
off the glass. Morgan rebound.
So anyway, let's take a look. So anyway, there's a play here going on in the girls' basketball game, and a girl flops. The official calls a technical for her flopping. He goes over, and he comes over to the girl who he called a technical, bumps into her, and then flops himself. Flops himself.
And he's just like spread eagle on the floor as if he just got shot. And what's his problem? Why is he like going after the girl too? He was like pressing her. That was very weird.
He was walking to the scorer's table to give the information on the technical foul to make sure, they get it assessed to the right person because the scorer table's over there. You see that he's walking his way there.
Yeah.
So he calls the technical, and now he's coming over to, most officials come they go right to the table, and they stand at the table, and they tell the scorebook on how they wanted to, how they want it to be assessed in the book, because they got to have that. And so, and I think he called a double tech, if I'm not mistaken. I think he called 2. I could be wrong on this. I think he called 2 techs. I want to make sure he calls. There's a technical right there for a flop. And then another tech, they're gone. And so toss the young lady out. She goes, what? What do you mean? He comes up and he, for some reason, didn't walk around her, bumped into her, fell
That's
down.
my gripe.
Flop. Watch this. Watch the camera. Watch the camera as he flops. It shakes.
Oh, my gosh. Why not just walk around her and you won't have to worry about any of that, and you don't have to get into your weird flopping business? What is that?
I don't know what. The only thing I can think of is that he was trying to like I could see him say, well, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? That would be the girl talking to the official, and as he came to him, he flopped down.
Yeah, that's just a ridiculous shame on that official, honestly.
It's not good.
Fire him.
Not good at all. I don't know if he'll ever officiate a game again.
Shouldn't.
But that was interesting to say the very least. To say the least, the flopping official, a loser of the weekend. I don't know what in the world got in his mind. It's like he thought, I have to set an example here, and I'm going to do it by blowing things out of proportion. And it
wasn't the way to do it.
Definitely odd for sure. All right, there you go. Weekend winners and losers. We'll take a break. We return. Nick Athen joins us next from ChiefsBlitz.com. We'll talk with him about the playoffs, the Broncos, Jarrett Stidham, Josh Allen. We'll get to all that coming up next here on a Monday on the Morning Blitz.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland, and let's get you covered. The Insurance Agency. Insurance the way it should be.
This corn growing season, the pressure is on. You've got to work smarter, not harder. So turn to Tribal Pro. As the hardest working, longest lasting corn fungicide, Tribal Pro works overtime to protect plant health and your potential yield, even in fields with low disease pressure. When you need your inputs to go above and beyond, choose Tribal Pro fungicide for disease control you can take to the bank. Ask your retailer for Tribal Pro today. Always read and follow label instructions.
It's time now for news from the world of agriculture on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Kansas currently has the worst case of highly pathogenic avian influenza in the United States, according to the USDA. I spoke with Dr. Justin Smith, Kansas Animal Health Commissioner, about what the relief from this virus will look like.
At this point in time, Kansas, in the last 30 days, if you look at the maps on USDA, Kansas has been hit, and we have the largest number of birds within this 30-day period. What that map looked like 30 days ago is much different, and what I expect will it look like 30 days from now is going to be much different as we see these migratory birds continue to move through.
There is hope that in the next month, those numbers will begin to go down.
If historic history plays out, we will see it slow down now. Once we get through the month of January, as these birds continually move south, we'll see that slow down. The unfortunate thing is that we have had some upticks again back in March and April as the birds continue to come back and start moving north.
Smith explains that while the most common detection is through an increase of deceased animals, there are other signs that people may notice.
But if they're astute and they catch it very early, they're going to see birds that are lethargic or not moving around and being dumpy. They're going to see birds that maybe have swollen eyelids. Many of the signs you would associate with influenza, but some of the things they're also going to see is they may have a head cock or a twisted head.
He also encourages producers to take the needed precautions to eliminate the spread of the virus.
People that are around these birds and handling these sick birds, they need to take the proper precautions as far as gloves and masks and stuff like that. But if they do see signs that they are suspicious of, I would encourage them to reach out to their veterinarian and or reach out to us.
Again, that's Dr. Justin Smith, Kansas Animal Health Commissioner. For the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network, I'm Addison Stoddard.
If you're buying or selling cattle, make your first stop livestockmarket.com. Bred cows, heifers, pairs, bulls and frozen genetics, even feeder calves. You'll find them all at livestockmarket.com. Livestock Market features private treaty sales, online auctions, and live production sale bidding. You'll also find horses, sheep, goats, and hay. Check out the free Livestock Market magazine wherever you pick up Tractor House and download the Livestock Market mobile app today.
Some corn and soybean fungicides out there talk a big game. But if you're paying premium prices for not so premium results, it's time to get your money's worth with Miravis Neo. With exclusive Adepidin technology, health-boosting benefits that keep crops cleaner and greener, and proven bushel bumps that out-yield the other guys, it's easy to see which fungicide gets you the most bang for your buck. Ask your retailer for Miravis Neo, the premium fungicide that performs. Always read and follow label instructions.
Quick hits, bold takes, and all the action.
I'll take that action.
Welcome back to the Morning Blitz.
Snap placement, kick on the way, and Denver's going to the AFC Championship game. Blitz from 24 yards out in an epic battle from a power field at Mile High.
The game-winning call with Dave Logan on the KOA Broncos Radio Network there from Saturday. The Broncos advancing on. Let's talk a little NFL with our good friend Nick Athen from Chief Splits, who joins us here on this Monday. Good morning, sir. How are we doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Doing well. Well, I got lots of questions on lots.
All right, fire away. I'm ready. I got coffee. I'm good.
Playoff weekend, but we'll start with. I just want to start with the story, and this is nothing to take away from the Broncos, but the Bills and Josh Allen not being able, despite the path being clear to get there to the Super Bowl, and still falling pretty well short of it. What is it? Do you blame Josh Allen? Do you blame the organization for not putting enough around him? What is it going to take for Josh Allen to ever, if he can ever get to a spot where he can make a Super Bowl?
Well, they started this morning. They fired Sean McDermott, so he's out. So that's
news.
The first step. They got a new stadium. They have to completely overhaul everything. They've got cap woes. They extended Josh Allen not too long ago. Really when it was unnecessary to do so. I think this organization missed a golden opportunity to get to the Super Bowl. They had everything there. Josh Allen once again in the postseason made mistakes in key moments. He's over you know, in the playoffs when it comes to, you know, this round. And they put way too much on him. They didn't give him enough. They abandoned the running game in the fourth quarter and in overtime when they shouldn't have. Just so many things went wrong. And I think for Buffalo, chasing the Chiefs just exhausted them. And now they're going to have to chase the Patriots. The Patriots are going to be the class of that division for the next 4 or 5 years. I predict. The Jets, I think, eventually will be better. The Dolphins, depending on, you know, what they do in the coaching and how they attack their offseason, you know, could be better. But the Bills, McDermott was the biggest problem. Relying on Josh Allen too much is the second problem. And again, they got cap woes. They've overpaid for so many guys, and they tried to unseat the Chiefs. They kept chasing the Chiefs instead of building a team that people had to chase them. And ultimately that's why they're in the spot they're in today.
Nick, gut instinct, who do they hire as the next head coach?
Well, I mean, Harbaugh should have waited because I think that was the perfect spot for him to go into Buffalo, get a chance to go in that division. But obviously he took the New York Giants job. Kevin Stefanski took the Falcons job. Matt Nagy appears to be the leading candidate for the Tennessee Titans job. That could be announced here in the next couple of days. And now with Buffalo, I'm gonna throw out Steve Spagnuolo. I think he'd be perfect for that organization. I think he would shape up the defense. I think he would bring a passion and a fire. But my guess is probably the passing game coordinator. His name has escaped me, from Rockhurst High School in Kansas City. With the Rams, likely is going to be the front runner there to work with Josh Allen. I would also consider bringing Brian Dable back. That's when they had the most success. So a lot of interesting. This has been a change off season for coaches and for teams that have held on to their coaches too long, and it makes you wonder how much longer is Andy going to stick around.
Is it Peltz? Is that the guy for the Rams?
I no,
I can't think of his name.
I can't think of. I'm sorry. I should be more prepared this morning.
You're fine. Well, that coffee hasn't kicked in yet. That's
no, it's not. It's almost empty too.
How rando and how odd of a story is it, even though it happened not that long ago, but to have your quarterback get hurt on the last play of the game pretty much, and now you've got to go try and get to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl with a backup who hasn't seen any snaps since the preseason.
Broncos are in trouble. I don't know if they're going to score any points Sunday afternoon. I mean, you know, this is a disaster for the franchise. It's unfortunate. They were fortunate to win that game. I mean, Buffalo take the turnovers away, and it's a blowout. But I don't know how they do it. I mean, how do you get a guy ready in a week that hasn't played a regular season snap in what, 2 years, 3 years, since 2023? You know, I thought it was a good signing to have as a backup quarterback, but you know, how is Sean Payton going to make this work? And the defense can only do so much. I mean, say what you want about the New England Patriots offense and Drake May, but they're good and they make plays when they have to. And that defense is legit. They're just gonna make Stidham they're gonna bruise this kid over and over and over again. And I feel sorry for the Broncos fans. I mean, that's brutal. You know, the NFL gods, man, they're tough. And they said, you're not quite there yet. We're gonna punish you. And for him to play he was like the 6 minutes into overtime, he did that to his ankle and he kept playing. You know, props to him. He made some incredible throws. He showed me that he's a winner, and he is a formidable foe for the Chiefs going forward. I was impressed. I didn't think he could bounce back like that and make that drive, but it just sucks. If you're a Broncos fan, I feel your pain, man. I've been there. You know, Joe Montana goes out the championship game against the Bills in '93 after Kimball Anders drops a sure would-be touchdown. Then there would have been no concussion and maybe the Chiefs win. Yeah, I feel the pain.
Nick Athen, our guest from ChiefsBlitz.com here on this Monday morning. What was your reaction to the Caleb Williams 14-yard, 40-yard touchdown pass? Because I'm not going to lie, my dad and I were watching, we're like, unbelievable. Like, did anybody jump out of their chairs? Because it was was nuts.
That was comparable to Wasp for me. That just was like out of nowhere. I mean, and to think about it, yeah, they were at the 14-yard line and he threw what 40
yards. Yep.
I mean, the fact that he did it was incredible. The fact that he completed it was amazing. But damn, they lost the game.
Yeah, I know.
So,
like honestly, weren't you sitting there thinking, okay, this is the team of destiny?
Oh yeah,
they're going to the Super Bowl.
Oh no, but I had Bears and Seahawks like all ready to rock and roll. I thought. I mean, the Bears and New England, Super Bowl matchup or rematch up, Refrigerator Perry,
Yeah,
and all these things were dancing in my mind like this is going to be the perfect Super Bowl. And no, that didn't happen. Listen, I can't fault. I thought it was one of the greatest plays I've ever seen. I think that he's such a good quarterback. He's so talented. It's too bad his receiver let him down in overtime, by not running the route the way it was supposed to be run, because he threw it exactly where it needed to be. And then the Bears win this football game easily. So just great players make great plays. And I just think the young quarterbacks on teams that have been really bad for a long time are starting to shine in the NFL. And I think that's good for business. And it's certainly good for cities like Chicago and for Denver and New England again, in Seattle, to have a lot of young quarterbacks. But that's the greatest. That's the play of the year. No question about it.
Do you think that's kind of a flash in the pan year for the Bears? Or do you think they're right back to it next year, maybe even better?
I tell you what, I'm going to be honest with you. I was a little disappointed in the coaching in this game. They probably should have taken a couple of the field goals and then it's a different game. I thought they were overly aggressive. I thought they didn't give Caleb more opportunities to run, to do some things that they had done all regular season. So I think the postseason coaching is going to have to change a little bit. It's one thing to be aggressive all season long, but in the playoffs, field position matters, points matter. It's a little bit different, and that's something he's going to have to learn. And he comes from Detroit, and they're just riverboat gamblers, and it didn't work out for them either. So I think they're going to be really good again. They've got some cap space. They're run by Ryan Poles, who's the former assistant GM for the Chiefs. He's really good. They have a lot of money. So I think they'll be all right.
Once again, Nick Athen joining us on the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream, our good friend from ChiefsBlitz.com. Yeah, it's when you look at this next weekend with the AFC and NFC championship games, I mean, are we going to have two really good games? As Connor put it not too long ago, he said it's been a great so far playoff of football for great games. Do you think that will continue with the next two?
I just don't. I don't see. I'm sorry, Broncos fans. I just don't see this game being competitive. There's going to be so much pressure on the defense to stop the Patriots offense. Now, Mike Vrabel is, last time he was in the AFC Championship game, he played the Chiefs, but that was against Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes made some incredible plays in that game to snap the 50-year drought of getting back to a Super Bowl. I think in this situation, they're the better team. I think the defenses are equal, but you just have to look at the quarterback play, and I would be hard pressed to see how Denver is going to upset the Patriots unless it's snowing, the wind is howling, and the Patriots turn the ball over like they did against the Texans, who had a very inept offense. So I think this is going to be. I think this is going to be the Patriots' game to lose. As far as the other game goes, I mean, I'm all in on Seattle. I think they're a complete football team. They're the most complete football team that we saw this year from start to finish. They're just an impressive group. They're well coached. They have balance in offense, defense, special teams, and that defense is really, really good. It's very underrated too. So I'm glad I'm sure the NFL's happy that the Rams won because it's probably going to be a better game than what the Bears probably would have been able to do on the road. These teams are familiar with each other. This is the third time they played So I'm excited for that game. I think that's going to be the better game. But if Seattle just plays like it has over the last month, I don't think anybody's going to beat them, including in the Super Bowl.
He is Nick Athen, ChiefsBlitz.com. Who are you taking tonight, Indiana or Miami?
I'm going with the upset. I'm going to go with Miami. I just think the home field.
That will not be much of a home field advantage.
I know it won't be. I know it won't be. But I just think the familiarity, not having to travel.
That's that. Okay.
Being in your locker room. I love the quarterback story with Miami. I got a feeling this is going to be a 1-point upset.
The quarterback story with Carson Beck you like more than Fernando Mendoza's story?
No. I love Mendoza. I just like the Carson Beck story.
Okay.
He was the hero. He got basically booted out of Georgia because he didn't deliver the goods the way they wanted him to. He goes to Miami. I mean,
back years of that though, because Will Howard was in the same deal.
I know, and I just like the kid. I love his perseverance. He's taken on all things. He's been in college 7 years. Go out in glory. I mean, Mendoza was almost going to Miami. I mean, it was one of those two schools. So I think that's a fascinating story too. But I love the underdog, so I'm gonna go with the upset tonight.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you want to talk about something sick? I saw a quote from Carson Beck there interviewing who said, "How have your classes been?" or something like that. I graduated 2 years ago. I don't have class.
And I got $15 million in the bank.
College football.
Go to grad school, buddy.
Student athlete. I mean, gosh, don't you have to do something?
He's made more money in the last 2 years in college than most backup quarterbacks make in 5 years.
That quote right there should be a massive problem for all of college football.
Oh, it's so college basketball, college football. It is so broken. They I don't know how they're going to fix it, but it's only going to get worse.
You're right. Nick Athen, ChiefsBlitz.com. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Nick.
Once again, great stuff there from Nick Athen, ChiefsBlitz.com. We'll take a break, come back for the leftovers to wrap things up on a Monday show. This is The Blitz.
In a world where sports never sleep, two voices rise every morning.
Hey, it's Ross Volkmer.
And I'm Connor Schuh.
Together, they bring you the highlights, the rivalries, and the drama of the game. From the high school gridiron to the NFL spotlight. Every play, every story, every morning. The Morning Blitz. Because every day is game day. Weekday mornings at 7 Mountain, 8 Central Time on Rocket 1025. Video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Of course, TA Truck Service of Colby services the big rigs and trailers, but they've expanded to serve all vehicles. If you need a tire patched, balanced, maybe a new set of tires, perhaps an oil change, well, contact Colby TA today, 785-460-4260.
Kick off 2026 ready for whatever winter brings. At Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby, they've got the gear to start the new year strong. Get organized with rugged storage totes. And when the snow starts falling, if it does, power through it with Ego and Craftsman snow blowers. Or if it's just the light stuff, blow it away with Ego leaf blowers. And don't forget ice melt to keep your sidewalk safe all season long. New year, winter ready. Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby. Helpful folks, trusted brands, and everything you need to get it done.
Monthly meat bundles will save you money at the Black Eyed Beef Company in Goodland, Kansas. Beef like steaks, roast, lean hamburger, chicken, pork, and more. You'll find them on Facebook. The Black Eyed Beef Company, 1516 Main Street, Goodland.
Kick off the new year in professional grade style with Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Right now, drive home a GMC Arcadia with 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers, or choose a 26 GMC CR1500 and get up to $7,000 in rebates with an eligible trade-in, or 0% APR for well-qualified buyers. Big capability, bold style, and New Year savings you don't want to miss. Start the year strong at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Shop online at hurlchev.com.
You're listening to the High Plains only local sports talk show.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
The Morning Blitz.
Okay, just a couple minutes left to go here on a Monday show. Let's get to some leftovers. We had this brought up on the text line. I couldn't agree more. Thanks to, listener Rob. Talking about Fort Hays Tech Northwest men's basketball, a dominant win on the road at Hutch, 73-60. Q Dixon, 20 points. Mattia Odasevich, a double-double as they pick up a win. Other than that, it was a tough weekend for JUCO hoops. You had Fort Hays Tech Northwest women losing 77-55, still in search of that first win of the season and of the Jordan Klein era. Colby Community College men, another tough loss, this time to Butler. They gave up 122 points for the second straight game. And the Colby women were down 40-14 at half in a loss to Butler. You were there to witness both of those games.
I sure was. It was Butler just plays at a pace that, well, both their men's and women's teams could not really keep up with. It's funny. They have the same style, press full court almost the entire time and just don't let the other team get comfortable. And Colby did not get comfortable. I'll give the boys credit. They managed to score a decent bit, but I mean, you just can't keep up with Butler. They average over 100 points a game, which is crazy.
In more college basketball, Friday night, Kansas beat Baylor 80-62. Darren Peterson, 26 points, 11 of 13 shooting. Gosh, he is smooth. There is not much that guy doesn't miss. That guy is a pure scorer of the basketball. It is honestly very entertaining to watch. Nebraska won at Northwestern, 77-58. They remain perfect on the season. And Colorado lost 72-61 to West Virginia in Morgantown on Saturday. Let's see. A couple of the quick shout-outs in local sports. Colby Boys Wrestling finishing runners-up at the Gothenburg Dual Invite. Congratulations to Talon Wark. I think he got his 100th career win on the mat. Oakley girls finished in finished with 8 players and took 8th. Sorry, let me restart. Oakley girls wrestling finished with 8 placers, including Brooke Smith, who took first at 170. They took second at the Hayes Girls Prairie Classic, which is a very deep tournament, so that was a good showing for them. St. Francis girls, a runner-up finish at the 41st Annual Scott City Wrestling Classic. A great showing from those ladies as well. And cannot forget about today. It's a busy week of basketball because it's tournament week around the area. So, of course, the Orange and Black Classic coming up here at the end of the week. But starting on actually Saturday were the play-in games for the Mid-Continent League tournament. And so today, first round action gets going. You've got Oakley girls, which are the top seed, hosting Norton, and the Lady Plainsmen from Oakley, who are the 2 seed, hosting Plainville today in the first round of the girls tournament. And there is also some other high school games. I think the Wheatland Grinnell Northern Valley is a game that was postponed from Friday to today. You've got Shiloh hosting Hitchcock County, Nebraska. Golden Plains hosts Western Plains today. And Goodland hosts Ulysses. Girl varsity, I think it's JV starts at 3:30. Girls varsity starts at 5, and boys will follow. This is it. Goodland girls, if they play to their capabilities, should be able to take care of business against Ulysses, which is continuing to struggle. But Ulysses boys, be ready. You know what? They had probably the biggest win of the weekend in GWAC basketball. They upset Holcomb on Friday.
Oh, wow.
473.
Wow.
So
no longer undefeated
for Ulysses. Yeah. And Holcomb no longer unbeaten. So be ready. Ulysses boys are very good. I said very good. They're a good squad. Goodland beat them in the topside tip-off tournament 3rd place game back in December, but this is a very feisty Ulysses boys team, and they're going to give you everything you want, so better be prepared, especially after that upset win over Holcomb on Friday. All right, let's get to the walk-off, why don't we?
And back lifts his ball deep to right. How about a walk-off three? Thomas to the 10. Difference going on in New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes swings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
I love Michael on the FB Bank text line. Nick's been wrong about the Broncos all season long. So watch out.
Jeez.
That's what Peyton said during his presser, that Stiddy was ready and watch out. He's going to be good. We'll see. It may happen. It may totally happen. Anything we missed in your booklet over there?
Yeah. Dylan Edwards just transferred to Kansas.
Good stuff. Yes.
Interesting.
I've heard some interesting stories from behind the scenes on what went down at Kansas State, and we'll see if it gets any better at Kansas. But yeah,
I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll
Honestly, if Kansas goes back to that offense they had with Andy Koltanecki, I could see him having some pretty good success being able to run in space. But
he's talented.
Can he between the ears? Can Dylan Edwards perform? That seems to be the issue at this point in time. Can he perform between the ears at this time? And of course, we got the college football season. We put a bow on it tonight. Miami and Indiana. Have your thoughts changed on tonight's game?
No, I think Indiana still wins it. There's a world where Miami could get a win, but I think if you play this game out, I don't know, 100 times, I think Indiana wins 80 times.
Can you wrap your brain around Indiana football national champions? Because I'm having a hard time doing so.
It's really weird to think about, obviously. I mean, our teams have been in the Big Ten for however long, so we're used to Indiana being bad in the Big Ten, and now over the past couple of years, it's just totally changed, and that's going to be really weird to see. But you know what? It's cool. It's almost like DePaul being national champions in basketball.
They had some history though
Really?
back in the olden day. I think they were decent back in the olden days.
They had some
Indiana's
good
been
years
bad for forever.
way back, but DePaul's been bad for a long time now.
We'll see you tomorrow here on the Morning Blitz. Have a great Monday.